Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the It's Pizza Time podcast. I'm your host, iNDiGO, and I'm joined by my co-host, Victor,
Hi, you can also call me LUCIUS.
and my co-host, John.
Hello, you can also call me by LUNAH.
And today we're joined by a very special guest, none other than, Hey.
What's up, guys?
All right, so for those of you who don't know, would you like to give like a brief, introduction of who you are, what it is you do, all that stuff?
Yeah, man. I guess first and foremost, I am a bedroom producer, and that's what I do. Make music, do a little bit of DJing here and there, and I guess over that, I just manage social media. So those are kind of like the three little things that I do.
That's a pretty good trifecta right you got there.
Yep.
So fucking I want to ask, like, where was it that you initially where was it that you initially knew that you wanted to like pursue music?
Yeah, man. So I've always been in like a creative sort of field. I study like film and cinematography and like cinema in general in school. And take this goes back to like way when I was like super young, but I was like DJing like birthday parties and just like chilling with the friends, like doing music. And I just got to this up to the point where like I kind of wanted more than just hanging around my
Yeah.
city and like doing events and whatever. So I buried my head into my computer after I had like I had a friend that our relationship kind of went sour, and so that's how I kind of used the time to recover, is just like learning how to make music. And I guess like it kind of like looks like at the bright side of that, because like if that wouldn't have happened, like I wouldn't have been doing this today. So
Right.
That's fair. Yeah, that's like kind of neat to like think that you managed to turn something like a bad situation into like a good one.
yeah,
Especially
I'm
like
not really good at interviews. I get really nervous, so sorry.
Dude, don't worry. It's not really like an interview. Consider it just like a bunch of homies talking, because
Cool,
we're all
man.
just a bunch of idiots here. Like, I'm pretty sure
For real.
anybody, if anybody is like, if anybody who's watching this right now has seen like any of the previous episodes, they'll know that like this is in no way like a formal interview.
More conversation, just hanging out.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you the generic question I give everybody on the show. What's your favorite kind of pizza? What's your
Favorite kind of
go-to?
pizza? I'm like super vanilla, dude. Like it has to have like a good crust, right? But like I'm super down with just like cheese or like margarita pizza.
Are you like
Hell yeah.
are you like a deep dish or a thin crust kind of guy?
I just like normal crust. Like, but you know what I had recently? I had, you know what tomato pie is? Like,
No.
and,
No
and like
fucking clue.
they make it like in Philadelphia, right? It's just like the best thing ever. It's like not. It's like a hybrid like pizza, dude. Like it's just really good.
Check it out.
Yeah, dude. You can only get it in like that area. From what I can tell, but it's so good.
Got it. What kind of music, or like what kind of music did you end up producing when you did start producing?
Yeah. A trap. I've always just like had an ear for like that like trappy like cadence and
Right,
the
right.
like in those like trap beats.
Those hi-hats, those 808s, yeah.
Yeah, and I've always just been like kind of like a bass head. Like I like at shows, like the thing I look forward to most, like aside from the people of course, is to like feel like the pressure like from the subwoofer. Like I know that's like kind of like Wookiee, like kind of weird, but
No.
I just
Nah.
like to
No
I just
swag,
like to
dude.
like make like really like 808 like low end focused music. So
That's sick. Do you ever like mix genres up? Like, because I did
yeah.
hear that Cersei song on your YouTube, and I loved it. It was really. It
Oh
was
my
just,
gosh, that's such a funny story. Okay,
yeah,
like
go
that's
for
not
it.
even supposed to be there. What happened is a guy like distributed that whole EP mistakenly to my account. Like it's not even mine.
Oh, it's not.
No.
What the
Wait, what?
fuck?
Yeah, so someone like distributed their work and like put my name in there and then it
Oh.
showed up everywhere, dude. Like on my iTunes, my Spotify, like even like the little stores like Beatport and everything.
What the
So
fuck?
for the past month, I've been like me and my manager have been like trying to get everything removed and we're finally down to YouTube. I think YouTube's the last one we have to get
Yeah,
to
because I
take
saw
care
that Cersei when I listened to it. I'm like, this is interesting. I'm like, okay, like you're mixing
of.
Indian music.
So I think the guy is actually I want to look it up just so I don't say it wrong, but he's not Russian. He's from Turkey. I'm pretty sure. Let me
Okay,
confirm it though. But like I heard it on my stuff and yeah, I think it's Turkey or Turkish.
it's
But
actually so funny.
but I heard it originally and I was like I'm like really mad about this. Like what like
You just
I
wake
called
up.
my manager and I'm like, what is going on? Like, just like upset. But I listened to it again and I'm like, well, like I would actually have this guy like rap on something that I work on. Like
Fuck yeah,
we
use
could
it as
turn
a
it, we could turn
opportunity.
this into something.
Bruh, that's crazy. Like
It's
imagine
Right?
so
getting
crazy.
he gets a rap opportunity because he accidentally uploaded shit to your
Which is just it's just so dumb how like the whole system works, man. Like
you should be
anyone
able
can
to do that.
like
Like
if
that's
I wanted to distribute my music on like freaking like Travis Scott's page on Spotify, for example, like I could do that. Like that's how messed up it is.
that's broken.
Oh,
That's broken
shoot.
as fuck.
Yeah, it's whatever though.
Yeah, I wanna ask like about like your music and about like the distributing. I was like trying to look for a lot of shit like recently for of yours, and it's like, do you find it like difficult the fact that you have like a 3 character like kind of simple like name? Do you think it makes it harder for like people to find shit like that, like your stuff?
On some platforms, yes. Absolutely. But you kind of just know that like as like things become more listened to that problem will go away.
Yeah.
You can see that proven in the Must Die model. He has an exclamation point in his name as well. And he has no problem on Spotify. That's the only one that I'm struggling with is but everything is coming up fairly well. But yeah, the 3 letter name does like it's definitely harder to search just because there's so much that like could be associated with it.
That's
Right.
yeah.
And unfortunately there's really no remedy.
Yeah, you just gotta like
Unless
get
you get
past the
bigger.
threshold.
Yeah, I think once you like have enough like backlinks and like you're like searched often enough that problem goes away.
Gotcha. Like, also, like, what was the origin of Hey? Like, why Hey? Like,
I hear shots fired in the background. um yeah, so I just like wanted to make a brand that was like
were you like a horse girl? Like, growing up, or, like,
no. I'm glad that's sticking, man. Okay, so I wanted to make a brand that will like combine stuff that like where I'm from, like I'm from Texas. And so there's like a lot of like farms out here, like not where I live. I live in San Antonio, which is like the 7th biggest city in the world. But you just see like that in the culture, and so like I was trying to like make like a cool like spin off of that. Um, and at first, like when I started putting out music, I like I was like going away from it. I was like, nah, this is stupid. This is like never gonna work. And then now, like I introduced the "Hey is for Horses" silly tag, and like it's just crazy. Like the first song I put that on block, it just stuck. Like people are like already like commenting it, and like I get told that in real life.
Bruh.
And so now I'm like kind of like backpedaling and like really embracing like the kind of like space like farm animal theme, you know.
Yeah, you
Have
should.
you sampled any animals yet?
Oh yes, a lot of my leads that come from animal noises.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty fucking great. You should like next show you do, just bring some horses up on stage.
We were actually supposed to do a few summer shows with the whole Hayes Rave Barn theme, and so we were gonna have like the audience like whoever had the best like Western outfit like get something, and like of course everything got canceled, but yeah, we were
Oh
working on some
wow,
stuff.
that's harsh actually.
Yeah.
We live in a crazy time, bro.
We live in a society, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro. Man,
Oh,
Everything is canceled
You know,
though.
I actually haven't seen Joker, but so I don't really get the
Oh.
meme, but you know.
I don't either. I just hear people say it.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. That's a high five. Um
In terms of everything being canceled, you have been putting on shows online though, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's been such a blessing. I never thought in a million years that people would reach out to me and ask me to play their online shows. Because generally how we go about bookings right now is via management, because there's like just like being honest, like Hay's not big enough to like create that big of a demand to do like live shows, right?
Right.
And so we're trying to like work on that obviously, but good management has been a key in a lot of those opportunities. But as for virtual stuff, like I haven't really like used like that network to get on those lineups. Like everybody's been reaching out to me directly. And it's just been cool to see that there's at least some recognition amongst like the people that I really look up to.
That's super sick. And then in terms of like live shows, what has been your like favorite show to date that you've played?
I recently opened for the Double Vision tour with Wakan,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably been my favorite.
shoot.
Is there like
Just
a
like
reason why?
just because like I love those guys. Like that was my first time seeing any of them in person, like Sully and Champagne Drip, and I think Lucid. Yeah, Lucid was there too. Um, and then like so we did that show, and it's my favorite because like a few months later, when Excision came to town, um, I got to meet up with those guys again and watch them perform on the Excision stage.
that's rad, bro.
And they were just like it was just cool to like see them and like see how like far they came, like because we played like a little club here in town, and of course Excision has like a whole arena full of people, so
Right.
it was cool like I just to look out over that crowd and be like, wow, like yeah, that's what I want to do.
Insane. Yeah.
Dude, like I can't imagine going up in front of that many people. Like I would have to like become like one of those masked DJs because like it would scare me to be in front of so many people.
Scares me, dude. Even like any people, like I guess like the best way I can describe it is like I'm just a guy, like I make things, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I don't deserve like all the people like looking at me, you know. I'm just like not in it for the clout, or like I don't know, like it's just like really about like being creative and like expressing myself with like music. So I struggle with that sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. I mean that makes sense. It's like it's still uh playing shows is like you can make as much music in your like bedroom as you want, and it's like even if you end up growing like a following, it still really doesn't change like
Yeah, like
much, and it's really like going, I guess, going out there and like seeing the crowd, which really like puts it into perspective, like how much you're actually doing.
Yeah, I can definitely say like the best feeling is like after a set when you go out into the audience. Everyone just is like dapping you up, hugging you, like, "Oh, you killed it, man!" Like that makes you feel so good, and also like the continuity of like making something on your computer and then playing it on the decks, and everybody's like dancing to it. It's just like such an interesting, like cool, amazing thing. Fascinating.
I'm assuming that's a great feeling when you like drop some unreleased shit and everyone goes crazy.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. It's unreal. Like truly just unreal. Or like when another artist that's like much bigger than you plays your stuff out. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I just had my
the best.
song Slop Shop get played out at EDC Orlando by Riot
No
10
way.
on like the big stage with all like the hexagons, and just like seeing like the fire go off and like the rail just like clacking to like like I was just like, whoa, like it's crazy.
That's my
Oh,
song.
dude.
Yeah, I was like, I made that with my homies, of course, but
Yeah, but they don't tell you when they play it out, right? They just kind of
no.
do. Yeah, so it's like
Everyone, you have to pay attention, or if you're lucky, someone will tag you.
yeah. Do you think it's like you think there are like a lot more people that have played your stuff out that you just like don't know of?
Yes, I keep very, very close tabs on all my downloads. Well, that just is another one of my moral values. Like, I don't want to ever price someone out of my music. So, like, I always make sure that there's a free download available on SoundCloud, like, if the label lets me. Um, and with that, I keep a very, like, close, like, eye on, like, who's downloading it. And, like, I've seen so many artist emails and come through there that I just know that there's like offer like shows that I've had stuff played at that I haven't seen, and that's scary but also very exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would you say your biggest inspiration is in like in terms of like EDM? Like, do you have an inspiration in EDM? Like any artist from there?
Artist wise, like it changes a lot. I'm like really like right now I'm really inspired by like the whole like Partica artist group.
Yeah.
And I like their sound, and it really fits with mine. So maybe we can get together and do something sometime soon, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, let's hope.
Yeah, man. Maybe they see this podcast and they're like, "Whoa, we should do that."
Maybe, man. I have some
Started
stuff that
us.
they might like.
It's not the weirdest thing that's happened. So
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. You're a marketing genius, by the way.
really, I'm just I consider myself more of a spam commenter than a marketing genius.
No, that's the wrong approach, my guy. Like you're a marketing genius, and that's why I was so happy when you reached out to me. I was like,
Yeah,
this kid.
I
Like,
was surprised.
are you
Huh?
like conscious of what you're doing? Like, are you just like kind of just like doing it to do it?
It was initially all right, the obligatory segment where I explain it in pretty much every episode. Um
Yeah, yeah.
I initially did it cuz like I wanted to like entertain people while also annoying one particular person. So I did it to their account.
Hmm.
Just like cuz I knew like they wouldn't like it, but everybody else would. So I was like, "You know what? I'm going to do this." And then people were like, "Hey, you should do it to my account. I want you to do it to my account." And I'm like, "You know what? I'm not going to keep track. So like I'll just do it to everything on my feed." And I've been doing that for roughly a year and a half. So,
Yeah, it's genius, dude. And here's why. Good social media is about continuity, like and consistency. That comment is like so random and that has nothing to pertain to the industry or like EDM,
Yeah.
but like people see it. Like it's something that catches your attention. A
It's
lot
kind
of
of becoming
artists,
something associated with EDM, which is like
yes, which is
pretty great.
cool. A lot of artists like recognize that, and even if they're not responding to you, like trust me, they see it. um, and like it's just I just like you're breaking down like so many walls, dude. Like I bet you a lot more people know who you are than you think that they do. Like just
I've
because of what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been like thinking about that. It's like how far does my reach actually go? Because I know I've had like I know that there have been people that like have maybe like only like to comment occasionally or like never even like responded, but I'll like meet them in person at like a show, and then like it'll somehow come up and they'll be like, "Oh, you're the guy," and I'm like, "I didn't even okay, wow."
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's recognizable,
It
and if you
yeah, it's
develop your
like
brand around that, I can promise you, like I would bet my entire life savings that you will be successful with this.
I mean, that's like what this is for, I guess, to, actually do something with the It's Pizza Time thing.
Yeah,
So,
man, just keep
yeah.
grinding.
I was like,
Uh,
I think like a part, like, like one of the ways, like, I realized this kind of like a decent thing was actually with, you in a sense. Like, I wasn't following you, I wasn't tagging you, but like, immediately, like, I mean, you started following me, I think, before I followed you back. And
Maybe.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, I know who this guy is, but it's like I didn't expect you to know who I was because like because I don't tag your shit. And then I was like, hey, this guy knows who I am without me having to actually do anything, or
Yeah, because
like
I've
do
seen
it
you comment on
specifically.
everyone's posts forever.
Wait, how
You
did you
know,
two meet? Like,
Oh, me and him.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen him around like through like Pierce's Discord and shit like that. I think
Oh,
Hay started following me through Insta, and I followed him back. And then he was like, "Dude, you like you DM'd me like something like you're a legend or some shit." And I'm like, "Dude, hell yeah!" And then I told you about the podcast. I'm like, "I would love to have you on."
that's
Uh,
awesome.
so yeah,
yeah.
I mean, technically this is like our first time actually meeting. So yeah, but
Hope we can see each other for real one day, dude.
for
dude,
sure.
yeah,
Absolutely.
we're
Get
hoping
that
to we're hoping
mandatory
to
picture.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
We're hoping to do some like follow-up episodes in the future when like quarantine's over, maybe like go out, get some pizza with people.
Oh yes, like please, like if you ever like see me in a show, which I hope you do, like after
Fuck yeah.
quarantine, like do not hesitate to come up to me, like whatever I'm doing, and just be like, "Yo, like we're going for pizza right now," and then we go. Like I want to go. Like let's do it. Let's run
Fuck
it.
yeah.
My manager might be mad, but let's go. Like I don't care.
Dude, hell yeah. You have you ever done like a show over here on the West Coast, like here in LA?
No, but I will be there come August, hopefully,
Ooh.
if the whole world kind of settles down. I'm gonna be in school in LA, so
That's
Ooh,
sick.
nice. Where are you gonna be attending?
I'd rather not say on the podcast, but I
Yeah.
can definitely tell you after.
All right, yeah, okay, that's fair. Um, yeah, like LA is definitely like a nice place to be, especially like for what it is you do, because it's like this is like the entertainment hub of the world. So like you got like
So he's shaking them down.
yeah, you got so many show opportunities out here.
There'll be like 7 shows in one night in like the same area. So
It makes sense that you're from LA. Now that I think about it,
What do you mean, dude?
like
What
it's
gives
just
that impression?
like no, like not like your impression, like just like the entrepreneurial mindset. Like I like it's almost like inspiring. Like I just like you're taking something that like for you used to be like not super significant and you're making it into something. And that's like kind of what I see with people that
Well,
live
yeah,
in LA.
I wanted to do it because it was like I just felt. I mean, I've been doing it for so long, and so many people think of it as a thing, and I thought of it like as an idea, and I suggested it to like one artist friend, and then like that news started like spreading a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I guess I have to do it now. Here we
Right.
are.
Yeah, you have to, man. I
Yeah.
think this is the next sidewalk talk.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I actually had two of the people on Sidewalk Talk on this show,
Yeah.
because I was like,
I've always wanted to do
Congrats, man.
that.
because I don't consider myself like the next Sidewalk Talk, because they like, because like I mean Lauren does like such a fucking great job,
Oh
like
yeah,
doing
she
what it is
seems
she does.
amazing.
Yeah. So like I consider this more like just knowing like or just meeting different people in the industry, but like knowing them more like on a personal
Personal.
level, just kind of just
Just hanging out, conversations, just chilling, you know.
Yeah, man, I'm like so excited for you. I'll stop talking about you though.
thanks, man. I mean, this is your episode, so like yeah.
I mean, I guess no, it's whoever's episode it wants to be, man. Like I'm not trying to sit here and steal the show. It's just like I'm just chilling. So
Right.
That's a good way to look at it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's move on, and let's discuss some other things. Like, all right. So, how have you been like, occupying your time in quarantine? Like, are you a gamer, a binge watcher? Like, what's your
yeah,
level?
what's my fix? Um, well, to be honest with you, I'm still in school, right? So I got to spend like about half my day doing that. Thank God that's gonna be over soon.
Right.
Outside of that, like I really just like to work. Like when I'm not working, I'm sleeping. And it's just not on music all the time because I'm like obviously trying to prevent burnout. But
Yeah.
I will play the occasional video game with like some my producer homies at night. It's not for terribly long. I always just like to be doing something with my time. I like it sounds like so like cliche, but
Yeah.
I guess that's
You
just
like
how
want
it
to be.
is.
You want to use your time and be like productive.
Of course, man. I just like in quarantine, like you gotta think that there's so many like people just like really, really grinding music right now. Um, and if you slow down, you get left behind. So that's kind
Yeah.
of how I feel about it.
I mean, that's a
True.
pretty good mindset to have. Just means like and I'm pretty like, from what I could tell, like you enjoy actually doing it. So, if anything, like you're at an advantage.
Yes, I love doing it. But with that said, um, I also struggle like a lot with music. Um, and it doesn't I don't always find what I want immediately. And I guess like you can call it like I don't like to say the word success because like I don't define it as that, but like any like notoriety that I've gotten has simply been because of one thing, and that one thing is that I will outwork anyone in my path to like rise above.
I mean, that's a pretty good thing to be known for.
Hell yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's just like what like for some reason is like instilled in me. I don't know if like that's on part of like my like upbringing in regards to like my dad or like my mom, but I come from a family of self-starters, um a family who has like a very like business oriented perspective. Um and like yes, like they're like more traditional, and like I'm trying to be the crazy one by monetizing something that's more creative.
yeah.
um but I think that like foundation has been so important and what I'm doing.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
Actually love that.
Yeah, man, I feel blessed. Obviously we all have our issues, but
Of course.
Yeah. Were your parents like supportive, like immediately off, like when you wanted to pursue stuff like this?
um that's a complicated one, dude. They've always been like really really dope about just like hearing me out and like saying like yes, like you do it, you go get it, get that bag, but that doesn't mean they understood it, right? So
Yeah.
they don't understand EDM, they don't understand like what the culture is, or like they don't even like the music. And so the journey with them has been like them seeing like a check come in the mail, or like them seeing like numbers on my Spotify. Like once like I got my music on Spotify, like my dad was like, whoa, like this is like crazy. Like cause he doesn't know like how that works. He was just like seeing some numbers on there and he was like, yeah, like that's he's like started to take it like a little bit more seriously. And then um one of the most like the one of the biggest moments on that like adventure was like actually last night. Like they've been to shows and stuff, but last night I had my production friends come over and we set up a like a mini festival stage in my backyard for another live stream festival we're working on. And they came out and we're just like, whoa, like this is what this is. Like it was just it was cool to see. Like my mom was coming out to like take pictures and be embarrassing and whatever, but
Oh, yeah.
it was
Parents
it
will
was
always
really
find a
cool.
way to like embarrass their children.
Oh, of
It's just
course.
yeah. What
Hey, at least they're more supportive for you too. Like
yeah,
they're proud of you. So
that's
they
something
can take.
like a lot of people don't have the luxury of getting. So it's
Yeah,
like
man. That's what I struggled with them as well. Is like always felt like as a kid like I wasn't ever getting told like I'm proud of you. Um
oh yeah.
and so like obviously like it's not because of bad intention, like it just like the words never were uttered, but like
Yeah.
whenever one of my parents says that to me, it just really like it means a lot, takes me back, honestly cry a little bit. So it's a
That's
big
good.
thing.
Yeah. How was it like how did your like parents like take it when like the first show that you ever brought them to?
uh yeah, so I'm really young, right? Like I'm 18, like, and it's been hard to like do this and
We're
like
you're our age, man. We're all like we're all
19.
yeah,
oh
we're
sick,
all 18, 19.
you guys sound
Yeah.
like much more mature than that. So
I get that.
I well now I feel like 10 times more comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like in respect to the industry, like I like I'm pretty young. Like most like touring DJs are like mid 20s, like late 20s, I would say.
Yeah.
At least everyone that I've met. Um, and so was like really starting to play shows when I was like 17. Yeah, probably like early 17. So a year ago. I've only done this for a year.
Right.
And they didn't like understand like why I was out so late. Like always telling me like bad things have to happen after 11. Like you come home. Like they're like there's always a curfew. Always some reason to like have me leave early. Which like obviously they're just worried like that something's gonna happen. Um, but it took like a lot of just doing it over and over again for there to be like a certain amount of trust that like everything was gonna work out according to plan, and that I was being responsible, um and then that like those like not restrictions, but they just kind of came to understand like that the best moments of my life are happening after 11. I think that's like an interesting concept, like
Oh
Right.
yeah.
some like things that I never could have imagined. Like this has been a pipe dream for me, like a serious pipe dream, and like things that I have like never been able to fathom have happened after that time, and they've come to understand that, and that's been really really dope. Now like coming to the first show, when was that? That was when me and my friend Christian Pyro did a back-to-back set headlining here in town. And so they came, him Christian's parents, Christian's also 17. We were both the 17 back then, and so all four of our parents came out to watch us. Um and like my parents didn't get the music, but I think that they were entertained by seeing me jump around like an idiot on stage. And of course, like they get all the wristbands and the guest list and whatever, so they felt pretty cool for that.
Right. That's sick.
That's like awesome. Do you think that like they look out of place? Because I feel like if I ever brought my mom to a show, she would look like so doesn't belong there, you know?
Yeah, they do look. They look very out of place. I'm laughing really hard thinking about that. They had we took a family photo at the end with everyone on stage, and you can just see my dad with like his arms up in the background, and it's so obvious that like he doesn't belong there.
It's probably headbanging in the front row.
No, he just stands there and kind of watches the lights, or just is like, yeah, that's my son up there. And of course, I get off stage, and like people are like trying to talk to him, and like, hey, like, why are you here? Like, what's your story? Like, just trying to like see what's up with him. Like, this everybody in the scene's so nice. Like, they're just trying to like introduce themselves, and he was like trying to tell. He was just telling them like that I was on stage, and like he had like a little circle of people around him, just like I don't know, just like talking to him about that. And it was kind of crazy for me. I was just like wow, people are like, I guess, that genuinely interested. So
yeah, dude, the electronic music community, like I've said it before and I'll say it again, they're like probably the coolest community out there in the sense of like how chill they are.
it's the best, dude. Like everybody, like what I see with like everybody in this scene is like no one like is really out to like be mean. Like everyone like
oh yeah,
I feel like wants to see you do things, wants to see you like have success, whatever that means for you. And yes, there's some bad ones, and like I've had run-ins with those, and it hasn't been pretty, but 90% of the time everyone's just like so great.
yeah, dude, that's like it's so crazy, like the idea of, I mean, I'm assuming like you've been like at shows like in the actual crowd like before, you know, actually doing shows, right?
I struggle
like,
with that sometimes though. I don't like I get very claustrophobic. So yeah, like I like try to like hang out and like chill, but at the front sometimes, but most of the time you'll find me in the back just like with my friends talking. Like I don't like to like do the mosh pits or nothing. I like to make them. But
oh yeah.
Of course I like to scream and I'm like, open it up right now. But you know, I don't like to like really jump around there. I get scared.
Right.
I mean, like I've been in like maybe one or two in like all the shows that I've been to, and it's like it's a very, I guess, acquired taste. As if
I mean,
you have
like
no fear, it's the place for you to be.
maybe that'll change as like we grow up a little bit, but I don't know.
I mean, it scares me because it's like I'm now being like pushed around by these like huge dudes, and
it's the huge dudes that scare me. I'm a tiny guy. I'm tiny, dude.
Exactly.
I'm scrawny as fuck. Like they could break me like a toothpick if they wanted to.
Yeah, like it's because I sit on my computer all day. Like I like that's exactly why. Like that's why I'm scared. And of course, like they regard me as like not like the god, but like just like a cool guy. And I'm like people, like you don't understand. Like I'm like you should call me like a nerd if anything. Like
dude, I'm
like that's not like my personality, of course, but like that's like I guess something that I can compare it to.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel you on that for sure, because I'm also claustrophobic too. But I like Marco forces us to go to the front all. I love it. I enjoy the front. It's fucking sick. The only part that sucks is when someone spills a beer on you. But I mean, overall, it's fucking sick. But like, some of the time, I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. This is too many people. And I was just kind of chilling in the back.
Yeah, I feel like
man, I'd be so excited to hang out with you guys in LA.
Oh yeah. So
we'll make it happen.
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck, man. I would love to see you like do a nice show at the 1720 down in LA.
That'd be so sick.
Palladium.
Yeah, Victor doesn't like the 1720, which is a venue out here.
Basically, it's a nice inside is fantastic. Once you get in, it's great. It's just the outside area where you have to wait for 2 hours, where it smells like piss. That's the problem.
Oh, where is it at? What part is it at?
It's
like
like
this
middle of
venue.
downtown, near like Skid Row.
Yeah, so
almost.
it's downtown. It's a really sketchy area.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind it, but it's just the inside's fantastic. Like outside area, when you have
It's not the
get your
best.
fucking wristbands and shit. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna get very culture shocked.
Probably.
Like, I
It's
come
it's
from
a very different place compared
It's
to anywhere else.
yeah, it's a completely different scene.
like wide open spaces, man. So we'll see how I feel.
Yeah, there it's like very. I mean,
It's,
I don't know what the room
depends on where
limit
you
is.
are.
Yeah, and also
Oh,
what
see.
venues again.
Because I mean, I feel like.
I'll be in OC, so
Oh, you'll be
Yeah.
in Orange County. Okay, I think you'll be pretty fine then.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be
like-
good. I see
It's like a city, but it's a very LA's just a very spread out city.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm back in OC too.
cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, OC's more tame. I mean, LA, like once you get to like the more middle of it, it's kind of more condensed.
LA's busy for sure. Like
Yeah,
I go there a couple of times and it's just so busy. Like
I
I
feel
hear
like-
there's like traffic. Like I remember driving to like Marcos. I checked out Marcos' address from like the venue one time, and it was like 2 hours, and that was only like 15 miles or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how's it 2 hours to drive to his house? It's like only
It's-
15
it's
miles.
awful. I don't
Yeah.
drive like for that reason.
yeah, public transport.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like, you can get like they have like some subways, and you can get here. You can get to like venues a lot faster if you just take the
Metros and
subway
stuff.
than driving.
And you don't have to worry about parking your car for like $20 and
Yeah.
just like dealing with like where it is afterwards, and then having to drive. You can just leave your hands in the perfect metro. So
Yeah. I'll have to figure all that out.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely gonna be like a really different setting for you.
I feel like OC will be a perfect middle ground because it is LA, but it's not like you're not thrown in the middle of actual LA. So I feel like it's like you'll be good.
It's
Yeah,
more
I'm
chill,
excited,
pretty
man.
much.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys.
Mhm.
What was the first song of mine that you listened to?
For me, I think it was Shots Fired, just because I saw like the videos on it, and I just the energy that you had when you were playing it was fucking sick.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it might have been Slop Shop for me.
Wow. Okay. So you guys have like
Maybe.
seen what's up for a minute. That's so
Mhm.
cool. That like we've never interacted before, but like you guys have like seen something that I've like had my hands on. Like that's what's so fascinating to me. I guess if you guys like want to know more about those projects in particular, like I'm down to talk about them, but like that's why I really wanted to ask, was because like I'm just like so like fascinated that someone has like paid attention to me.
Oh yeah, dude, don't worry. I mean, if you want to talk about them, like go ahead. Like, what was the process behind? I mean, hold on. Like, what was the process behind like Slop Shop, and then also like
Shots Fired.
your Weathen remix as well.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's like the first like song I ever really made, that I've released. Like before that, I was like making like little Jersey Club flips on my own and whatever, which is like so cringe. But I did that one with my friend Tyro from Denver, and he is like dubstep legend to me at least. And I guess like he like really kind of like gave me a big push like when I was starting all of this. Like he had an audience behind him, and I found him on Instagram, and I wanted to like take a lesson from him just to like learn. And I sent him the idea I had for that remix, because of course like I was a young producer, like still like doing remix competitions and all of that stuff. And he, I guess, liked it. And so we got on Zoom for days and days and hours and just grinded out that song and submitted it to Skio, who was hosting the competition. and we won. And it was just like a really like big like first like yes moment. And got that one released on Big Beat Records, and like wow, it's been like that one in particular has been like really cool to see, like because obviously like Skrillex is on Big Beat, like that's like his like I don't know, Ozza's his label obviously, but he has a lot of songs on Big Beat as well. So that was a really big moment for me.
I mean, that's definitely like a win and a very good confidence booster, if I should say so.
Yeah, I was I was doing a middle school dance the day that we found out that we won actually. And right before I went on stage, like not like EDM performance, like I was just like doing it for work. And right before I went on, I got the email and I was just like, whoa, like I crushed the little what is it called, like Melbourne bounce, like I was playing like that stuff for those kids because they like that's what they like dance to, but like I crushed the set and it was just like a really cool night. It felt really awesome. That was way back in the day. Oh, I can't even imagine me admitting that I played Melbourne Bounce for little kids. But yeah. And then like shots fired. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I can.
I mean, yeah, go for it. I'm really interested how that came about because like I've heard a lot of like Atari's features and shit like that. So
yeah, he's a tough one to get at, man. So I guess how that happened really with Atari, and then we can talk about Campbell or Prosecute, who is popping off, by the way. You guys should have him on the show. I can make the connection. Yeah, I can make the connection for you guys.
Totally. Yeah.
Atari is very like particular about who he works with. And he's very like he's good about kind of like not background checking, but making sure that if he invests his time in something, that it's going to be worth it. And that I admire him for that. I don't like to say no to people, but and I'm not saying he does, but he will. And so just kind of initially like talking to him was kind of interesting how that happened. It actually happened through Tyro, so connecting the story, right? Like it's this whole like story with everything I do. And so Tyro had worked with him on a few projects before, and I kind of messaged him and was like, yo, like I just put us out a song with Tyro, like what's good? And like we started talking, and I don't know, like for some reason he responded to me. A few months later, Campbell and I have this instrumental, and I'm like, you know what? He'll probably say no, but I'll send it to him. And his manager and him, they like the track, and that's how the feature happened.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, fucking, you're definitely like getting to a point where you can probably start like, just sending shit to people and like not having to worry about whether they'll say no or not. I mean,
that's a good thing to talk about, man. It's like really weird, like going from like me hitting up bigger artists and like asking them questions and like sending my demos to having like people do that to me. Like that's been like that's been like a really like surreal thing. And then like as you grow, like more people know who you are, right? So there's not a lot of like at first, like when you're like I like to call it like a micro artist. And I'm still like majorly a micro artist, but like what I'm talking about, like just in like the very, very beginning, it is so like hard to get people to take you seriously. Like so hard. Like everyone like no one wants to like pay attention to you. Like no one like they'll listen to your stuff, but they don't really care. Like unless it's amazing. And my stuff certainly wasn't amazing. I just like I said, I just work hard on it. And so like crossing my mouth dried up. Crossing that boundary or like threshold has been like really, really awesome. That now like I can like talk to people and then they look at my socials or like my SoundCloud and they're like, okay, well this guy has done this, so I guess like we can like do something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's weird because you don't. It's like it takes a while to get to a point where like people will actually like can take your word for it, I guess. Because it's like it definitely helps when you get if you have like if you already have like friends in the industry, and like you can have like them like put in a good word for you. But if you're like starting that off like with absolutely nothing, it's just like a like a harder climb up the ladder, you know?
It's such a hard climb up the ladder. And that's where a lot of people get tripped up is like, well, hey, this isn't immediate. Like nothing's happening. Like, so why? Like, why am I doing it? Like, that's where a lot of people like stop.
Yeah.
And I guess like for anyone that like is at that point where like no one's it feels like no one's listening. Like, I guess I would just say like, go home. Don't worry about social media. Really work on your music, and it'll come. It'll all come. And that's this thing. Like I have like issues sometimes with like my patience. Like my manager will tell you this that like I'm very like particular and impatient about what I do, and I'm really trying to work on that, and just like be like more understanding. And I feel like I am understanding, but like obviously like everyone has things that they can work on in life, and like that's just one of the things I've noticed about myself that I would like to work on, just like to improve as a human being, because I think that that's important to like be the best human being you can be. But patience, like seriously, like for anyone that's like starting out with this, like I guess like I am proof that like if I can do it, like you can do it. It will all come. Like seriously, just keep putting out music, keep trying your best to get as many ears as possible on it. And it will all come. The managers, the collabs, everything.
Couldn't have said it better myself, dude. That's some like inspirational shit, dude.
Hell yeah.
Fucking epic.
Well, thank you. It's just real life at this point, I guess.
Hell yeah. Fuck, I don't know how to segue into anything else from that now. Like,
Right.
But where do we go from there?
I'm trying to think. Maybe
we could talk about the future.
For sure. I was gonna say like future projects.
Yeah, whatever you guys want, and we can wrap it up a little bit after that.
Anything you're allowed to talk about with us? Like,
I really don't know what I'm allowed and not allowed to talk about. Let me like think about this for a second, because there's some things that I really want to say, but that I could get in trouble for.
Right.
I'd say like
I guess I could say it.
Risk it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it, like, because I could really get in trouble. But I can tell you a few things like in regards to that. I have some pretty big collabs that just got done. Do you guys know who Freaky is?
Oh, Freaky, yeah.
I have heard that name, yes.
Yeah, so we just finished a collab with Blue Pill, who's an amazing vocalist. Oh my gosh. And it's like, I hate to like compare him to like 6ix9ine, but or like XXXTentacion, but it's like kind of like in that like range of like those intense like screaming like vocals, but I think it's like quite frankly better.
Party song then.
Yeah, it's a massive like dubstep headbanging banger, and I don't make dubstep a lot, so this is different for me. And I just know that it's gonna be a massive tune. Like Excision already downloaded it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So we signed that to a very big label, and that's coming out in July. And then Slop Shop, the sequel, which is called Sheep, with the same artist, of course, got signed to that same label, and it's coming out a little bit after or before that. I'm not exactly sure. I need to look at my calendar. So I just, in the last couple of weeks, signed 2 of my tracks to a label that I've been like seeing on social media since I was 12 years old, and that's just surreal.
That's fucking sick. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, man.
It's like a dream.
Right?
I'm so just like, it's amazing because like you like all of us, like, you know, like when you're young and you like see these big dudes on like Instagram or like wherever, and then like all of a sudden like it's happening to you. Like what? Like
exactly.
Like I don't just like no one, like it's just it's just really cool and like so fascinating. And I can't say I deserve it, but like I guess like it's cool.
Fucking sick. Yeah, I felt that too, especially seeing like listening to people when you're younger and then seeing them in the future and just like talk. It's so weird. It's like you would never imagine that you'd ever be talking to this person, and it just happens, you know? Like
Yeah,
that,
this was
that moment for me was San Holo.
yes.
Listening to
Yeah,
his
he's
shit, like
cool.
Hold Fast is literally still one of my favorite songs to this day, and I still listen to it like all. And I was able to tell him that, like, it's fucking weird, you know?
Yeah, when people tell me that they like really are in love with one of my projects, like that's like a whole experience in itself. It's crazy that you say that you guys heard of me through Pierce or Austin. But we're working on something that hopefully gets done soon. If he finishes it, I'm calling you out, dude. Um,
Yeah, I had the opportunity to talk with him recently at back in January. I
uh-huh.
I met him for the first time. He did like so Sidewalk Talk had like a meet and greet with San Holo, and then after that meet and greet, I was talking with some of the Sidewalk Talk people, and like they knew who I was, so I was like, yo, cool. And we all went to this do you know Reaper?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, he's like an upcoming like dubstep slash drum and bass kind of
Cool.
dude, and he was having his debut show like a couple blocks away, so we all went to that.
Yeah.
That show got shut down.
Oh God.
It got shut down by police for some fucking reason. And then like after the thing, like they were like, oh, we kind of don't want this to be over, so we went back to the place where they had the meet and greet, where they still had like DJ decks, and they were like throwing like a private little party, and then they had Pierce show up and do like a little mini set, so I got to meet him through that.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
dope.
And
He's so talented, man. I could talk about that kid for so long. He's become one of my really good friends. We've been through a lot of stuff together, just like working together. So
yeah, absolute legend. He called me out on the pizza time bullshit, told me to fuck off, but it was
yeah, he's got a strong personality, man.
Yep.
I don't know why there was silence there. That's funny.
It is.
Silence. I mean, that's what this whole
No,
show's
he's
about.
so great. He just is. He's very. What I mean by strong personalities, he's just very like energetic and like willing to like talk and like it's all good things. All
It's a
good
good
things.
thing.
100%.
Like, I'd rather have someone voice their opinion and be up front rather than not voice it. So.
Yep, and that's exactly how he operates. He's just very good at what he does.
I don't like it like when people like kind of tiptoe around things too. So
Yeah, I don't either. I run like the business side of this project in like a very strict fashion. Like it's all point blank. Like because like when it comes down to it, like I'm not trying to spend days like dancing around stuff. Like things have to get done. We're on a timeline. Like
exactly.
there's deals that are happening like right now, and things have to get done. And that like I don't like this side of me to like come out ever, but like when it comes down to it, if you mess with business or like our time, like that's an issue. So
Yeah.
Right.
Well, all right. I think we're about reaching the end of the episode here, so I'm just gonna ask like the questions like, what do you like? What is the thing that you hope for in the future? Like, is there anyone that you hope to collab with at some point within your entire career?
I really like kind of like a big goal of mine is to do some music on Wakan. Not necessarily like collab, but I really want to kind of move more that direction. And I'm just gonna like manifest it, put it out into the world, see what happens. Right now, it's the first time ever. So I'm excited to see if that ever works out. I would love to work with some of those guys. Peekaboo's a big one that I would like to work with. He seems so dope.
Yeah, dude.
And I've gotten so close to him, man, because Effin or JD lives with him and Soli in LA. So maybe we'll meet one day. But I like Peekaboo a lot. His stuff's so amazing to me. So that's a big one.
All right. Well, that's pretty freaking cool. Like Peekaboo is absolutely like wicked when it comes to his like stuff. I need to like actually listen. I need to sit down and listen to like more of his stuff because I haven't like taken the time to do that. I haven't taken the time to go through like his whole discography and shit, but I think I need to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if we're gonna end the, I feel like we should end it on some sort of positive and inspiring note.
Go for it.
I don't really have anything to say except to reiterate that, like I said before, if I can do this, you can do this. If you want to be an artist, it's hard work. It's all it is. Hard work leads to opportunity, and opportunity leads to success, however you define that.
All right.
Love it.
Well, thank you so much, Hey, for coming on. And
Yeah, of course. This was great.
Do you want to like plug yourself as much as you want, like right now?
I'm not like really a big fan of like plugging myself, but I guess like if you want to like check out my stuff, my Instagram is just at HAY, 3 letters. And from there you can like click in my bio and like see my other social media, but my other usernames are at It's Hey Music if you want to follow me there.
All right. We'll
Awesome.
we'll include links in like the description or like whatever.
That'd be great.
to check Hey out. And then links for our social medias will also be down there. I just made a Patreon for maybe like if anybody would like to join that.
Yeah, subscribe, guys.
The first $100 we hit, I've promised that whatever episode we record after we hit $100, I will attempt to eat a full raw onion while recording it. So if that's incentive,
he's got to buy the artist pizza after shows. He'll dedicate the box to you.
yeah, dude, I'll 100% do that. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Later.
Fuck yeah.